Hi.
Hi, how are you, Mama?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for asking. What's your
Good.
name?
My name is Deb.
It's nice to meet you, Deb. I'm Richard and I'm calling you from Brazil.
Wonderful. Well, great. And what do you do, Richard?
I am an engineer and I work in a logistic company. And
Okay.
I also study English. I'm studying to be an English teacher.
And do you want to be at the university level or at high
Mm,
school, middle
no,
school?
like high school level, especially because I think we have more opportunity to teach proper English, especially because right now I have been studying at the university. I don't have a lot of subjects, about English, and it
Okay.
frustrates me a little bit.
Okay, so you're going back to school to get like a teaching certificate or
Exactly.
to become
To
a
get
teacher?
to become a
And
teacher, to get a teacher
And so
certificate.
the subjects that you're taking or the courses that you're taking, you don't get a lot of uh, practice time to
Yeah,
speak it.
I don't. Actually, they only teach about how education works, like the education system, how the law, all these
Okay.
sorts of things. But speaking in English, it doesn't happen.
Yes. And a lot of times they'll focus like do you do you take it when you're in high school? I know. How about like elementary? Did you have English?
Yeah, I did. Back when I was in elementary school, I had a couple of subjects, in English. But unfortunately, here in Brazil, English is not, I think it's not taught correctly because it's what happened. What happens is, for example, to be an English teacher, you have two options. You can only focus on English, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just focusing on English,
Yes.
or we can, for example, learn how to teach Portuguese as well as English. So English is like a complement, you know.
Okay.
But when we choose that option, they don't focus in English at all. It's like
Yes.
80% of the course is in Portuguese, and they have just 20% of English. So when what happens is when teachers go to school, they are not they are not interested in teaching English because their focus is Portuguese. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And back when I was in elementary school, in high school, I didn't know how English worked, I didn't know how to make basic sentences, and I just had heard of the verb to be, but even back then I didn't know how to pronounce words correctly. It was a mess. And but after starting college, and I decided to take private English classes here on
Okay.
Cambly as well as in a private English school. And oh my gosh, it has helped me so much to get better and better. And I love it. I literally love it,
Well,
English.
I've heard that from other students, uh, those that are in your position where they're trying to get their English degree. It's so much focus on grammar and the rules of grammar and the context and things like that, where you do not get the chance to actually practice the language. So I see you've been on Cambly for a while, and that's wonderful. Your English is top notch, very good.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you for saying that. I'm so happy.
yes, and you're very fluent, and I can just tell that
Thank you so
we
much.
need more teachers like you in the
Oh my
system.
gosh. Oh my
So,
gosh. I'm
and
so happy to hear
how
that.
much longer do you have to go to school?
I think it'll take 3 more years for me to graduate. It'll take a fair amount of time,
Okay.
especially because, yeah, I'm in the beginning of the process of becoming an English teacher because I think, yeah, I've changed my mind this year because, I have a degree in engineering.
Yeah,
Believe
I
it or not,
know.
I
I
am an
know.
engineer. And, all of a sudden, I decided to study again in college to get like an English certificate. Some people say, "Oh my gosh, it's so weird. You studied engineering in college." And I feel like, yeah, but I think we have to pursue our goals, right?
It's
I think,
kind of your
yeah,
calling, and
yeah,
if that's what you want to do and can do
yeah,
it, that's wonderful.
yeah.
Um,
And
Now you're still working as an engineer, so you're earning money on that part,
yeah,
and then
no, it's kind of it's hard to explain because when I was 16, I started working at a company that I was an administrative assistant, and then I worked there for 7 years, and after quitting that job, I got another job as an administrative assistant. So in the billing department, I don't know what happens, but I have never worked as an engineer because I have never liked that profession, that
mm,
field, of work. And I was so the reason why I decided to take that course, it was because I was good at math at school. And that's I think that's the point, because as I
yes,
told you, I didn't know how English worked. So I felt so desperate to find a college for me to go to, and I decided to take engineering classes. But then, after finishing my course, I realized that's not what I want to do, my entire life, because I will not be happy. And just thinking and overthinking all the time, I said, why don't I study English? I've been surrounded by English on Cambly and in my private English school for a long time. Why don't I give it a try? And right now I'm so happy. I'm so
good
happy to
for
be
you,
to be
Richard.
doing
I'm
that.
proud of
Thank
you.
you, thank
I
you.
am
Yeah,
so proud of you. Now, are you married?
yes, I am. I'm married.
Yes. Do you have
I live.
children?
No, I do not. I don't have
No.
children.
Well,
Yeah, it's
that's kind of a
easier
good thing
to
right now
study.
because you are a busy man.
Yes, I am. Yeah, and yeah, having kids right now, it would definitely be much harder.
Does your wife speak English?
Yeah, she does. She
Okay.
speaks really good English, and she doesn't practice a lot because she likes, playing her guitar. She's like more like a music person, you
Uh-huh.
know. And in my case, English is part of my life. Every day I study English. I watch TV shows in English and YouTube videos because besides getting a better vocabulary, I'd like to decrease my Brazilian accent and to sound more like
Okay.
an American because I like your accent.
Um, I was going to say, you've been in this for a while now with Cambly. So the
Yeah.
two key components are practice, 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 as much as you can. And that's why we're here to help you with that. But just what you said too, vocabulary development. And
Yeah.
I'm so much going with my students over. I mean, I just tell them, what room are you in the house, and we just start going through all the objects because so that they can get that in their mind of the refrigerator, the stove, the bed,
Yeah,
uh,
actually, yeah,
saying it in English.
it's interesting that you brought that up because I was studying about the kitchen or kitchen objects, and I've learned so many of them, such
Yes,
as like grater, mixer, egg beater. What else? Chopping board. Uh,
exactly.
what else? Yeah, yeah, a lot of vocabulary. Sometimes I forget,
Oh,
because
sure,
I don't have the opportunity to use them on a daily basis. Yeah.
sure.
Because kitchen vocabulary, we have like to cook, right, in order to use them. So like, oh, let me get something.
I tell my students as you go through your house or apartment, every room that you're in, I mean, we all got time where we're just staring at the walls. Go through what's on my walls, what's on my dresser, what's on my bed, in the bathroom, what am I brushing my teeth with, and so forth. Now, the other thing I'm real big in and is phonics, and I don't know how you feel about phonics, but I'm real big. So what I'll do with my students is we'll go through the alphabet and we'll go through like the vowels A, E, I, O, U has two kinds of sounds. And then I'll tell them, Okay, now we're going to do the short A sounds, and I actually give them words like act and alligator, and we go over that. And then the long A sounds are like able and
Able,
acorn.
acorn, angel.
So
But
I find that helps. Like you said, you wanted to get the accent. It helps you clarify what those letters are and say them clearly.
and based on what you are listening, what do you think of my accent right now? Do you think it's too heavy? What do you think of it?
I can hear a little of the Portuguese. I can hear a little bit of that dialect, but very crisp, clear sounds, and that's very American. So
Yes.
so
Thank you.
I don't hear even in America, we all have a different dialect. I'm from the South, so I'm probably going to have a little bit more of a Southern type of sound in my voice. Where if you live in New York, up in the northern section, you have a very formal English type of language. Out in the West is a little bit different than over on the East Coast. So you just have to, there's not one particular accent. There's all
Um,
kinds.
but can you differentiate an accent from the United States from the outside of the US? But as you said, there is the northern accent, the southern accent.
Yes. And there's our own language, our own way of saying things too. Uh, like in the South, we use a lot of you all or so forth. Where in the North, that would not be the same. Coca-Cola. Here in the South, we say soda. Up in
Oh,
the
so
Midwest, it's pop. It's
it's
called
pop.
pop and not soda.
What
Yeah.
about soft drink?
Soft drink, yes, but mostly it's I'm going to have a Coke, I'm going to have a soda, I'm going to have a pop. Um,
Mm,
um, Soft drinks is like something that the menu of a restaurant might have, and then
oh, I
they'll
see.
list, okay, you're going to have a Coke, you're going to have a Sprite, and so forth.
It's
So
like a section, soft drink.
yes,
I
yes,
see.
because you got
Thank you.
Coke and you got Pepsi and you got Sprite and you got all the different kinds of drinks that you can imagine.
You know, I have a question, please. I have never been to the US, and but my fear is like I don't know how to tip. How much do I have to tip? For example, if I take a taxi, if I go to a restaurant, there is like
Okay.
an average, a minimum. How can I,
Yes.
base
Okay.
my tip?
We're going to run out of time pretty soon, so I just want to let you know when you leave me, I will give you my information if you want to try to connect with me again.
Okay,
Okay? So
thank
I
you.
just want to let you know about that. Now, the general rule is about 15% of your bill.
Okay.
So if you go into a restaurant and you spend $20, then you tip 15% of that $20. If it's
Okay.
a really good service, you might go up to 18 to 20% of the bill.
Okay.
Your cabs is the same thing. You'll want to do about 15% of the cab fare, or if they carry your luggage at the hotel or at the
Uh,
airport. So 15% is kind of a magic number of the total
Thank
amount.
you. Oh, thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah,
No, like the
yeah.
magic number for me to
Um,
like to note.
right. And real quickly, the other thing I wanted to tell you is I, I don't know if I know you've gone through the library pretty good of Cambly, but they also have the IELTS and the TOEFL testing, which is the international language test. And that might be good practice for you because all of that is talking. And
Oh,
and even though you might not take the test, it's a good way to practice. They'll give you a question and you have to answer it in 2 minutes.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so check that out. But I will get you my
Thank you.
information. Okay.
Thanks so much. Take
I'm
care.
so
Okay.
glad. It was nice talking with you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye bye. Have a
Bye
good
bye.
night.